Welcome back, everybody, to episode number 5. Holy crap, we're already at number 5 on this MK Mobile podcast. It's unbelievable. Unfrickin' believable. But today, or tonight, or whatever time you're listening or watching to this, it is a solo episode with just me, GTG, as your host and your guest, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. But anyways, we're going to get into the winter 2020, or possibly the spring 2021 Mortal Kombat Mobile update predictions, expectations, and hopes that I'm having for this next update. We have had word from one of the developers that the next update is going to be sweet, and rightfully so, because this last update, holy crap, Noob Saibot never expected it. Never freaking expected it. Still blows me away that he is in the game now. Don't have him yet, but that's all right. We'll get him someday. I'll get him someday. So let's start this episode off by looking at my predictions from last time, the last update. And this is going to give you guys a clue as to where my predictions stand as far as being accurate to being totally ridiculously off the chart wrong. I guess that's the best way to put it. So let's see. So the last predictions video, I said that there was going to be the return of the Tower of Horror, which, you know what? I was right. So good for me. I also thought that there was going to be 2 difficulties of it. I did not see the Nightmare Tower coming, so I thought they're going to do like a normal and a Fatal Tower for the Tower of Horror, so that was a big X on that one. Did not get that right. And then I also thought there was going to be an ascension of gold to diamond Shinnok and Jason cards to fit into that Tower of Horror. Totally wrong on that. As well as a new character being MK11 Spawn. Wrong. So I was wrong basically on 99% of it. Let's just put it that way, if you want to break it down that way. So that's where I stand with my predictions. Just to give you a little bit of a look into what I'm going to say. It's probably not going to be right. And also, like, maybe you're listening to this podcast or watching this video down the road, and some of these characters and some of these predictions are already in the game. Well, maybe you guys are in the future right now, and this podcast is 2 years old. Who knows? Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't know what I'm talking. It's kind of cold down here in the GTG studios. Took a lot of crew to put all this crap together. This fireplace, this TV. Actually, it's just me. Just me down here. Anyways, let's talk about my new predictions for towers. Okay, guys, towers are not going anywhere. I think they've finally kind of crafted the towers how they want them. You kind of saw, like, I mean, towers are just nostalgic to Mortal Kombat or Mortal Kombat in general, because that's how, with the first game, you would climb up the tower to defeat the boss. So I think they finally found the right mix of how they want to bring these towers out. We've had all these towers up to date, and they're not going anywhere, like I said. They're going to be new ones. There's going to be repeats of the old ones, but I think they're going to filter in new ones along the way. Number 1, just to bring excitement to the game. Number 2, to sell gear. To sell Brutality gear. So, with that in mind, let's get into my predictions for new towers. And there's a ton of them to get into, but for sure we're going to see a return of the Lin Kuei Tower. I'm going to go with what they did with the Nightmare Tower and say that they're not going to make 2 difficulties. I think they're just going to have the normal difficulty for the Lin Kuei Tower, just like they did last year. And then I think they're going to add another tower. So we're definitely going to see the return of the Lin Kuei Tower and all that awesome gear that goes with it, which is good because if you remember right, I think it was the Scepter. You were guaranteed a Scepter at the end of Fight 200, I believe, last year. So you were guaranteed it. I think that's going to be the same thing. You're going to be guaranteed an epic piece of equipment at the end of the tower, and then obviously probably a random diamond drop at 100, and possibly a random diamond character. Not sure who they're going to go with, what category character they're going to go with for Fight 200, but anyways, hopefully I can max out my Scepter, because I got up to level 4 or 5 last year, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely Lin Kuei Tower is returning. Now, new tower, there are a ton of possibilities. These are just a couple that I came up with. I mean, you could have the Strike Force Tower, Assassin Tower, Elder God Tower, Circle of Shadows, and also a Classic Tower. So a ton of different possibilities, and that's just not even like, that's just the beginning of the list. There's like many, many more that you could even come up with. This can be an ongoing, marketable plan for them down the road, because they're always going to come up with these new ideas. But speaking of classic towers, this is just an idea. I would love to see a classic tower filled with classic character boss fights. And then at that boss fight, whether it be 20, 40, 60, 80, and going on those fights, have it like old school retro look. Like, I think that'd be freaking badass if they could do something like that. That would really bring the lore, just like honor the lore of the Mortal Kombat game, just by showcasing those old school backgrounds and old school characters. I think that'd be freaking awesome. So maybe something we'll see down the road. But I'm going to narrow my choices down to 4 towers. I know that's not like really narrowing anything, but I think these are very good possibilities to see in this next update. So I think with the Strike Force Tower, very good possibility. Shokan Warrior, very good possibility. Cold War, probably the most possible, I would say. And Elder God, which is probably up there as well. So really, probably the last 2 I'm expecting the most. But let's dig into each one of these. So if they came out with the Strike Force Tower, 2 characters come to mind that could be included, new characters that come to mind that could be included with this. And those obviously are Rambo from the new MK11 game, as well as RoboCop from the new MK11 game. Those 2 characters are marketable as hell, you guys. And the owners of the rights of those characters are out to make some money, okay? They are going to make some money too with this mobile game. I mean, what was it, like a couple of years ago? They had like 80 million plus downloads just for the game. That was a couple of years ago. So if they could sell that many cards or whatever with these characters, the owners of the rights of these characters are going to want that money too. So I can see that happening. But anyways, with new characters, obviously comes brutality gear. So there's going to be a market in that too. So with the brutalities, I could kind of see like these 2 characters, possibly like this first one is Rambo, and he is, if you're not watching this, you're just listening to it, he is gutting D'Vorah, slicing her neck, and then just unloading with his gun. Looks freaking awesome. So cool. As a fan of Rambo movies myself, I'd love to see him in this game. So that's a possibility. I could see them dropping that if they come out with Rambo in the game itself. That would be an awesome brutality. Going on with RoboCop, this next brutality would be awesome as well. And this is where he blasts the character and then just unloads with his gun, with his handgun, just going crazy. And then he comes up, boot stomps him with a spike, and takes out his hand first, and then obviously takes him out with a headshot. So that one might be a little too graphic for a mobile game. I don't know, but I would love to see it regardless. So Strike Force Tower, very good possibility to see something like that. Moving on to the Shokan Tower, I could probably see a new tower, especially with the Shokan Warrior feel to it. We already have Goro. We have 2 Goros. We have Kintaro. I could totally see them adding a Shiva. Now, Shiva is just a badass character. She is new to Mortal Kombat 11, so she's marketable. And she's marketable also just because she's an old school character as well, in my opinion. So I could see them adding her. And I can just imagine the damage that you would receive from all those arms, all those fists, climbing up this tower to the top. So something that I'm kind of expecting, definitely would like to see, but definitely, like I said, before when I started this whole podcast, my predictions aren't the greatest. They don't hold true too often, so just keep that in mind. Okay, moving on. Cold War. Now this, like I said, this is probably one of the most expected towers, just because it has the feel of the Lin Kuei Tower, obviously the Cold War Tower, and we did just get Cold War Scarlet. So Cold War Scarlet is now in the game. She just dropped. Now Scarlets in general do kind of have a brutality. If you remember, when they defeat an opponent, they envelop them in the blood, and then they like shake and basically explode. And thank you guys, all you guys who reached out to me on the last podcast I did by myself, where I forgot to add this as a brutality, a quote-unquote brutality in the game. So she is already in the game, but I think if they were to add her, they would definitely give her own equipment plus a brutality, and I think it would probably look something like this. And if you're just listening to this podcast, she again envelops the opponent in blood, and then it definitely explodes. It's just a little more graphic, but what I think is it's an easy build for the devs, because those graphics, that motion is kind of already built into the game, so it wouldn't take much to make that, and it would be an easy sell. I'm just saying, it's kind of like just already half done for them, basically. So that's a possibility. Moving on, Elder God Tower. Now this one would be freaking awesome, because like I said in the last podcast, Elder God Towers, or Elder Gods, are very underrepresented in this game. There's just not a lot of them, and I would love to see more, specifically Fujin, Rain, because he's new to the game as well, and even possibly like a boss Kronika if they came out with this tower. Like if you got to fight 200, that would be one of the battles, one of the bosses that you would have to battle. Not to mention they could unload these brand new characters, both very marketable as well, and a great chance for them to bring in a new background to the game as well. Be a freaking awesome boss fight there in front of Kronika's Hourglass. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I would love to see something like that. Also, with the Elder Gods, there's so many different variations that you could have going on. So like you could have Elder God Kenshi, Shinnok, Raiden. There's a lot of Raidens right now. Fire God Liu Kang, who knows? And also, I know this is the same graphic as last time, but wouldn't that be awesome if we could be battling a corrupted Shinnok? I think that'd be freaking awesome as well. So hopefully down the road we'll see something like that. Now, moving on to another big part of this game, and that is bugs. It seems like we have been plagued with bugs for quite a while now, and I think the team tries their best over there at NetherRealm to squash these bugs, to exterminate them, but I think they have their hands full on other things as well. Now this is totally me talking out of inexperience. I don't personally know anybody there, but just knowing how businesses sometimes work, they get you started on a project, you don't have time to work on another project. All your resources are pulled into another thing. So that's possible. But I wanted to point out a gentleman, a good friend of mine, KC, on YouTube and Twitter. It's KC Mobile Gaming. YouTube is his handle. I've got it up on the screen behind me right now. You can check it out. But he has been just diligently working on a bugs list for, I don't know, 2 years, 3 years, and updating it. And, he gets others from the community to give their information on different bugs. So I actually reached out to Casey on Twitter and just asked him, like, with all these bugs, what is the most important one in your opinion? Because he is, like I said, the curator of all these crazy things that are happening with MK Mobile. And he actually came back and said that it's the quest mode bug. And the reason, because it's the same bug that they actually came out with an update to fix. So it's still around. The update did not fix it. And as we're watching this video, you can tell, here I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. He's putting Ronin Katana on because for Quest 65, assassins receive a quest bonus, blah, blah, blah. He goes to start it, and as we scoot forward here a little bit, we're going to show you that it does not take. Now, he does this a couple times, doesn't take. He finally ends up putting D'Vorah on, and it does take. So it's kind of a big-time annoyance for people trying to use quest mode in their favor, and just use it in general, I guess. Not just in their favor, just use it. It's not working. So in all the bugs, that was kind of the biggest one for him that he would like to see fixed. So like I said, I think the bugs issue is a big one. Everything has bugs. I work in tech. I get it. And I know what it's like to work with limited resources. But also, they're running a business. So that should be priority, is to make your product the best that it can be. So I would focus all on that. So with that, let me get back into my thing here. Other characters. So to finish this podcast off, what other characters would I like to see? These are kind of just like a wild card guess here. Obviously, you guys, Spawn. I would love to see Spawn whether he be Spec Ops, whether he be NetherRealm. He fits both categories in my opinion. Maybe he could be both. Maybe he could be a Nomad like Aaron Black. I don't know, but he could fit both of those categories in my opinion and would be a badass character also. And also very marketable. Very marketable. Not to mention, McFarlane Toys is running a line of Mortal Kombat 11 characters. So even better. Give Todd McFarlane some more money. Let's go. Get Spawn in this game. Also, I could see an Ascension, maybe not even Ascension. I could see just a new Kotal Khan. A new MK11 Kotal Khan, maybe more powerful Kotal Khan, because he is kind of underpowered in my opinion in the game. Well, let me put it this way. He's a unique character in the fact that like he is valuable if you know how to play him. He's not the most powerful, but if you can use strategy to play him, he's very good. But I would like to just see an overpowered Kotal Khan in the game itself. Which brings me to the last part of this podcast, and that is I reached out on Twitter and I asked what character you would most like to see in this next update. And you guys, I had a ton of responses, a ton of freaking responses. 23 people commented, so we're just going to go through every one of those because you guys deserve to get a shout out and to get your name seen, because all your choices are really good. So let's just go through that real quick and check out who you guys want to see in this next update. Here we go. All right, everybody, here we go with your guys' most wanted characters to see in this next update. And we're going to start off with Casey, Casey Mobile Gaming YouTube. He wants to see Shang. He says Shang is an obvious choice. So how about we also throw Nightwolf in as well? You know what? I'm all for that. I would love to see Nightwolf and Shang. And if you guys remember, if you're veterans to this game, long time ago in one of the, what do they call them? Watchtowers, I think, way back in the day. JJ, who I don't think is with the mobile team anymore, but anyways, they mentioned that yes, they were working on Shang. They were just having problems figuring out how he would shift into the different characters. So hopefully they kind of brought him back to life and started working on him. I would love to see Shang as well, and Nightwolf as well. KC, so awesome choices. We got Bojidar here with Winter in place. I am still on the road to see Santa Claus Boraicho. I don't know about that, but it's freaking hilarious. And also probably a Snow White Cassie Cage. Okay, let's do it. He goes, cosplay Jackie throws ice balls in her Sub-Zero variation, so why not Cassie also do that in a way of the spirit of Christmas? Hey, I'm with you, Bojidar. Let's do it, man. Bojidar also, sorry, I'm totally butchering your name, man. I apologize. Long time follower, long time subscriber, awesome guy. He also adds in a ton of info to KC's bug list, so check him out as well. And just has a lot of good information for this game, so good veteran right there. He ends with, apart from that, I really want to see a full-on bug fix, more before an actual update. I hear you there. Yeah, good point. Kind of good tie-in with what we were just talking about as well. We have so many in the game right now, it's almost frightening to see the number. Yeah, good point, man. Very good point. MGA BMK, Frost, Rain, Shang Tsung, MK11 Katana, or Melina. Man, I almost wish I would have picked MK11 Melina as a choice, because I can see her being added as well. So awesome choices there. Matt Jewell, the movie. Okay, so the actual actor of the original Shang Tsung, which is Carrie, I believe. Yeah. Shang Tsung for MK Mobile, or classic Johnny Cage, or a 3D era character. Very cool. Yeah, that would be awesome. Actually, a long time ago, I did pick classic Johnny as being in a diamond and being introduced to the game, so that would be cool. Thank you, Matt. JT, Circle Shadow Smoke. Yeah, JT, you keep asking for him, and I would love to see him as well. So he goes, I'll keep calling his name until he eventually shows. Cold War MK11 Kano, perhaps. Yeah, that'd be awesome as well. The fifth character in the Cold War team, I could see them adding them. I could see them adding a Cold War Kano as well. Bojan MK, any new character would be nice. It doesn't matter for me. I like them all. Only thing I would like to see is the new challenge characters who would appear in the store just like the old challenge characters. I hate the pack exclusive characters. There is too much of them. I totally agree with you on that. Also, not to mention, just a gold character would be nice. Like a gold character that's easy to get, and you don't have to deal with the RNG in order to get them. So yeah, totally agree with you there, Bojan. Thank you. Captain Capricorn, guest character Spawn. I'm with you on that one. MK character, I think now would be a good time to bring the first MK11 Spec Ops teammates like Jax, Sonya Blade, etc. Yeah, totally. I also hope incoming MK11 teammates get a synergy similar to this, where they can play in a non-MK11 team. So he's referring to Noob Saibot, who does 50% critical and lethal damage for NetherRealm teammates. So yeah, that's a hell of a passive, hell of an attribute for NetherRealm teammates. I totally agree with you. And Man With No Game adds to that, an awesome non-team specific synergy is one of the nicest things about Noob. Hope new characters continue to have similar passive boosts that work for entire classes. Yeah, no doubt, 45, no doubt. Okay, Lefter is MKM. He is waiting mainly for Shang Tsung, then Sindel, Shiva, Nightwolf, and Fujin. So a lot of good, solid core characters there. Lefter would love to see any of those. Shinobi writes, Fire God Liu Kang, Shang Tsung, MK11 Cassie Cage, Joker. Now I'm surprised they haven't hinted on Joker yet, you guys, just because if you remember, wasn't he like right up there with Noob for the Discord poll that they did? I believe he was pretty close, but yeah, no doubt Shinobi. He is, honestly, I don't know if I'd like to see him. I mean, he's marketable as well, going back to that whole deal. He's definitely marketable. I would love to see Fire God Liu Kang, Shang Tsung, MK11 Cassie Cage, all those characters as well. So, your boy, Shang Tsung, there we go, another Shang Tsung. The DJ Castroy, the Joker, Rambo, and a new Diamond Johnny Cage. So there we have another Joker, Rambo, and Diamond Johnny Cage. So we're seeing some overlapping now. Naveen, he wants to see Nightwolf, Sindel, and Rambo will be the best characters in the next update. So I hope you're right. I really hope you're right. Again, Nightwolf, like KC mentioned, would be freaking awesome. Okay, Julian, Original King Julian. Something actually worth earning than Faction Wars rewards packs. Put them in challenges or that trials mode that they had for a couple months. Yeah, whatever happened to that? That got like pushed on the wayside because it was there for a while. It was a big deal. I think what happened, Julian, is they found out they can make more money off of towers. So I don't know if we're going to see that come back, but it's really frustrating for new players to earn anything good thanks to drop rates too. Anyways, Garrus or MK11 Shang Tsung. Garrus would be a badass character as well. Yeah, thanks Julian, appreciate that. Let's see. Logan, combatants want Shang Tsung, Sindel, Nightwolf. NRS be like, here's Rambo, Robocop, Joker, Spawn. Again, you guys, they're going to go with the most marketable players, and I think if we get another Mortal Kombat character, it's going to be an MK11 character, because then they can sell that brutality gear, make them a diamond, sell that brutality gear. But yeah, thanks Logan, appreciate it. So, okay, Man With No Game 45, MK11 Shang Tsung is who I really, really want to see, and the character who MK Mobile fans have been asking for years besides Noob. Also MK11 Shao Kahn, yeah, that'd be pretty badass, would be equally awesome. I am convinced we'll get MK11 Joker though, probably. You are probably right. Like I went back to, it's probably just a marketing thing. It's a numbers thing at this point. MK9 Striker from Edgar, yeah, Edgar, I could totally see that. Dark Fate Dragon, if NRS sees a tweet, we hear all of you now enjoy this new brutality for Terminator. Yeah, probably. He says it might be okay though, or even cool. But if we get like 3 more brutalities with it, then we won't say no, just like in the Shiro Ryu Tower update. Yeah, that was unexpected for sure. Samuel, inasmuch I would love to see, or love new characters we don't have in the game, I would love to have revamped MK11 characters of those already in the game that do not have diamond cards. MK11 Kodokan, like I said, awesome. Borecho and Triborgs. Thank you, Samuel, that was pretty good. Sindel MK11, Shang Tsung MK11 from Victor Cage. Love it. Yeah, I'd go with both of those. We've got, I assume, either Noob, either because he has brutality now and there is a pattern that we get the same character in a row, Cabal, Scarlet, Terminator, etc. So you think we're going to get another Noob? Possibly. I'm going to try to pronounce your name here. Avi Vagu? Man, I hope I'm not butchering that. Apologize if I am. We've got Nojus. If I'm pronouncing that right, guys, I'm really sorry. I'm terrible with names. He wants to see Sindel. I would love to see Sindel. One of the most powerful characters in the game, could be in the game. And Gamer Forever, he says, we get Noob, another long-awaited card is Shang Tsung. Don't think we'll get him in this update. Let's see. Other guesses, MK11 Johnny Cage, MK11 Shao Kahn. top of all these, we need to do gold challenge cards. Absolutely. So no doubt we are seeing a lot of overlapping guesses and a lot of the same idea that we need cards that are easier to get. So totally agree with that, you guys. What else are we gonna? Let's talk about bans real quick, since we're kind of nearing the end of our podcast. So bans have been a big thing. The game has actually come out and mentioned that they've basically given their last warning to people who modify or mess with their account in ways that violates their terms of service. Now, I've always been an advocate of playing the game the way it was meant to be played. And I get the fact that sometimes the game doesn't seem fair to the player, but I don't believe hacking the game is the way to fix that, okay? So I think the way to fix that is to, talk or send messages to the company, or even not buy their stuff, not buy their packs. That, money talks, you guys. Money talks, 100%. That's probably the loudest message and clearest message you could send as a player to the company that you don't like the way things are going, is to not purchase what you're seeing. That message is going to get through to who needs to hear it faster than trying to go up through the ranks of the company or sending in an email or sending whatever. But what I don't like to see is people ripping on developers about getting banned who have literally nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. The developer is there doing their job, creating content for the game. This is a whole different department you're trying to access. Trying to access support. You need to go to the WB Game support to file your complaint or try to get somebody to talk to. Don't go to a developer. They have nothing to do with it, okay? Now, granted, sometimes an account does get banned for reasons that they shouldn't have got banned. Let's just say, for example, Majestic May had his account banned. Sorry, I hope you don't mind him bringing it up, but anyways, it was because he legitimately gained a lot of souls on his own. He was playing the game the way it was meant to be played. Well, whatever software the company is using saw that, and it raised a red flag because it just saw like a crazy number of whatever. Well, yeah, go to the company and rebuke that, okay? Because it worked for him. He got his account back. Now, if you hack the game, you did it, man. Don't try to say you didn't. I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyways, you get the point, man. Don't be stupid. Don't hack the game, and you won't have a problem. So, wow, I don't know what that was, but anyways, that's the end of what a way to end, huh? Freaking crazy way to end. So this podcast is not only available on YouTube, it's also available on iTunes and Spotify. So you guys can have access to this whenever you want. You can either watch it, you can watch my dumb face talk about stuff, or you can listen to my dumb face talk about stuff. It's up to you, which is awesome. So with that, I think we're done. I think we're done with episode number 5 on the MK Mobile Podcast. I really appreciate you guys' support. Leave a like if you liked it, and leave a review if you're listening to it, because that means a lot as well. It makes it easier for everybody else to find it. So with that, everybody, I think I covered all I need to cover. Let's see how my guesses go. I'm guessing I'll do good on a couple things, probably totally off the map on the other ones. But anyways, with that, everybody, thank you all for watching and subscribing. And we're going to end this episode with an old song from way back in the day when I hit 1,000 consecutive days. It's called 1,000 Straight Days, with a guest appearance from Reptile. So let's end it with that. You guys can jam out to that on the way out. Thank you, everybody, for watching, listening, and subscribing. Bye.
Been a long time, but I think I gotta say, I've been playing this great game for 1,000 straight days. Been a lot of long nights and a lot of long days, and a lot of tippy tap tap to make 1,000 days. A lot of tippy tap tap to make 1,000 days. I'm pretty sure there's something wrong with my brain. But 3 straight years playing the same ass game. There's definitely something wrong with my brain.